Okay, welcome to our Basic Expert Dungeons and Dragons game tonight. We're going to run an adventure that I wrote, and there's a video showing how I created the adventure on this channel. I'll put a link, however you put links, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we make it to the end. I mean, I know I'll make it to the end, but we'll see if the players do. So, essentially, you guys have been adventuring for a little bit. You're second level. You've been adventuring together. And you've heard of this area here that's being kind of cleared out, by loggers and such. And near one of these camps, there was some rumors that came back of they had done some exploration to look for the new area to log, and they found kind of a strange pyramid structure. It's basically a pretty large black stone and very, very steep. But what was maybe odd about it, except for the fact there's a pyramid in the middle of the woods, is that it's flat on top with some kind of what appeared to be as like a sarcophagus or something. But of course, the woodsmen did not want to risk anything, and they say the area is dangerous with wolves as well. So nobody's been up in that area for a while. They're kind of looking for people to kind of scout the area, check it out, and obviously that appealed to you all because you're adventurers and you're thinking giant pyramid equals treasure. So it's about a day's journey from the camp, the logging camp, and it's pretty uneventful. When you're traveling during the day through the forest, it's the summer, so you guys left as soon as the sun came up, and most of the day you've been traveling. It's been a nice day, and as kind of getting close to the end of the day with only a few hours left of light, you kind of break into this kind of large field. It's about 400 or so feet in diameter. I mean, it's not a perfect circle, though it is pretty close. And more or less in the center of it is this pyramid structure. It's over 50 feet tall, or roughly 50 feet tall. It looks like at one point it might have been like polished marble, but now it's chipped and cracked and chunks are taken out of it. And just as it was described, sitting on top of this flat top, about 15-foot square, there is what appears to be 4 columns coming up. Perhaps they held a roof at some point, but there's no longer a roof there. What appears to be some kind of a sarcophagus. I mean, you're looking up at it from a distance, and a statue of a man. But before we get into that, let's go through, and you guys can intro your characters. Tell us whatever you'd like to do about that, or how you're feeling about the situation, or what have you. And we'll go from there. So I'm going to start here. I'll start with Nikki. Tell us about your character, Nikki.
I play an elf. Her name is Ariadne Maven. And she's excited. She's pretty happy-go-lucky. She's not an emo elf. She's pretty excited to be here, happy to explore new places, and really interested in this pyramid structure and what could be inside of it. She's short. She's only about 5 feet tall, but she's fierce, and she has a sword, and she also carries a longbow, and that is Ariadne Maven.
Right, and you also, if you look at that other text file, you also have a magical battle axe. So you're all kinds of laden with weapons.
Oh, I don't see that. Sorry.
It's on the text document that I sent as well with your retainer.
Okay, cool.
Tony, tell us about your character.
Orla Gimfell. His mother tried her best to raise him the right way alone. His father left when she was pregnant with him, and he never knew his father. But poor Orla has had a hard life. His mother mauled by the Baron's dogs on a hunt and did not live through it. So from age 12 on, Orla has pretty much lived by himself. He didn't learn his letters. He didn't learn his math. He doesn't know anything about that. All he knows is if you want something, you take it. If someone tries to stop you, well, one of you probably will not be leaving the alley that night. Orla is followed by one of his ruffian friends that he grew up with by the name of Norm. Norm is kind of slouchy, big fella, walks around with a javelin and all these big sacks that he hauls around Orla's stuff in. Of course, Orla himself is not much to look at. He's a very wry, small, almost ugly man in a way, who always scowls about something, no matter what it is. Even the elf cannot cheer him up. That's Orla Gimfell the Thief.
Nice. And Young, tell us about your character.
You see a halfling fella. He's trying to negotiate some price in hiring a henchman. And he looks at you guys and says, "All right, guys, you guys go ahead. I'll catch up. I'll talk to you in about 5 minutes or so." And yeah, he's basically a portly halfling wielding a short sword and a sling, I believe. And he's trying to negotiate and hire somebody from a local mercenary guild here.
Nice. What's their name? The halfling?
His name is Fabrice.
Fabrice?
Fabrice.
Fabrice. Okay, nice. Awesome. All right, and the halfling. It's always going to be one halfling, right? Following around. And last but not least, Crystal, tell us about your character.
Filling around with a silver ring in her pocket, thinking about her sister who was killed by a magic user who she now seeks vengeance against. She looks up at this tower in front of them and towards the top of the statue and thinks, you know, that guy there, that guy could be the one that I seek. I have to test my skills in this place. She looks behind her towards her magic user apprentice that follows her and says, "Come on, keep up now, and don't let your guard down. You know that anything could be around any of these trees around any corner. Now hurry up." And that is Sarah.
Nice. I noticed too that Sarah has a couple extra A's there, or an extra A there. It's very, very, very fantasy. I like it. Okay. Also, just because because I'm a nice guy, I will give you the honor of seeing the drawing that I made here. You've probably seen like these epic drawings that were in some of the original modules for Dungeons and Dragons. This is not that. All right, so this is essentially what it looks like. It's flat, and you've got this like raised area in the center. You can see that, right? And there's 4 columns. I mean, there's drawing in 2-dimensionally, so you just see 2 columns there, and then the sarcophagus kind of shape in the center. You would imagine because it's got that boxy shape. There's also a statue, but you can't. At this angle, you don't see it. You see that, right?
Yeah, we can see it. At least I can see
yeah,
it.
yeah. I couldn't tell. Okay.
How high did you say it was off the ground level?
Maybe 50 feet.
Is this pyramid, is it like Mayan style, like steps, or is it more like Egyptian style, like straight up?
Yeah, it's kind of this is a good question. It's kind of a more Egyptian style. There are some kind of indents in it. It looks like it was probably stepped on some level, but very, very narrow steps, like maybe like 2 inches by deep by like maybe over a foot tall. So very kind of steep, but kind of sliding. However, over time, it was covered, you imagine, with plaster and stuff like that. As a magic user, you would know some history of these things, and it looks like it's probably chipped away. So yeah, it looks like it's climbable. It would be not easy for an untrained climber to get up there without some kind of assistance, but it does look climbable. Other than that, I should probably just also point out this is kind of in this middle of this field, and you're in a pretty lush forest where they were doing logging and stuff. But this field is like a flat area that the grass is kind of stunted and almost like grayish green. I mean, it's not dead, but it looks like it's barely alive. And even like the stones that are like laying exposed to the sky look kind of pale and white, as if they've been like bleached. but everywhere else around, like it's literally like a ring of like beautiful lush forest, and it falls into this kind of decay.
Orla takes his time as he pulls out of this large tobacco leaf off of a pouch off of his belt, knowing that the halfling can't stand it because, the halfling wants to smoke it. But Orla twists it up real tight and puts it in his mouth and starts chewing on it. He looks towards the halfling and he goes, "You're climbing up there first and secure the rope?"
Funny, Orla. I thought that's what we brought you along for, Sarah will say.
We could send Dorcas. He's a thief. And I point back at my retainer, who is in fact a thief.
Dorcas.
Yeah, D-O-R-C-A.
Oh, I don't prefer to be called a thief, madam.
Oh, you're what do you like?
A rogue.
Oh, okay. Well, can you climb this pyramid?
Of course. It would be child's play.
Yes, we go up there and we can rig some kind of rope system or something so we all can get up there.
That's a good idea.
Sarah will. Oh, go ahead.
Orla chews constantly on that leaf as he listens to the conversation, and he looks at Maven and he goes, "Well, the one that has all the fancy words over here, maybe she could do something to like, make one of us fly up there and we wouldn't have to climb."
Well, of course I could, but, those kind of skills are hard to conjure up from time to time. It's sometimes better to do things the simple way. And she'll take some rope from her backpack and throw it over to the elf's henchman and say, "All right, chop, chop, hop to it."
What day of the week is it? I don't recall having gotten paid yet.
I'll hang on. I'll say I'm pretty sure I paid you, but just in case, I'll give him his share.
Wait just a minute now. Why don't you just let Fancy talk over here? She's the one.
What?
Oh. We can't hear you, Crystal, although I see you lighting up. She's not so fancy anymore. She's been silenced. There you go.
And Tony broke up at the end for me.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead.
She'll say, "You see, Henry, this is why you don't bring thieves along. They're always trying to get you in trouble, trying to get you killed, or trying to stab you in the back."
Oh, he's not a thief. He's a rogue.
That's right. I'm a rogue. And he looks proudly at you. And wow, people are just dropping. It's like a horror movie over here. Keep losing players. Okay. I'm trying to look. What's your character's charisma? Nikki.
Mine?
Yeah. Oh, it's 11.
11.
All right, with the 7 more. Okay. I mean, because you're asking him. I mean, you're asking this guy to walk across a kind of dangerous-looking empty field in the middle of the woods. So.
Oh well,
yeah.
we'd walk with you to the base of the pyramid.
Oh, I see. Well, if you put it that way, just remember Dorcas, the rogue.
Always.
Yeah. And he'll walk over there and he'll climb. You can roll for it. He's got he's a what, first level thief?
Say it again, Daniel. Sorry.
He's a first level thief, right? So he's got an 87% climb.
87.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can roll, yeah.
Let me grab my percentile here.
I mean, for a thief, it's actually pretty much child's play. But we're just going to roll to see if he how quickly he does it, basically.
It's happened. Maven kind of skips along with him. She skips. Ooh. Child's play, huh? 79.
Okay, yeah. So he spends an inordinate amount of time like looking for the right spot to start climbing up. So, Crystal, go ahead and roll a d6 to see if any kind of incident happens while you're waiting.
Yeah, of course you'll have me roll that.
Of course.
5.
5. Okay. No problem. Yep. He finally finds a corner that looks like it works for him. And he, makes his way up, shimmies up the side, and he says, "I do say, this is spectacular view from up here."
Oh, yeah?
Hmm.
What can you see?
There's quite an elaborate statue. Oh, it's quite tall. Let me see if there's a place to tie the rope off. And yeah, you can't really see exactly what he's doing. He's kind of moving around up there, because he's at 50 feet up and you're at the bottom. He's kind of like, "Oh, I'm looking for a good spot here." And you hear some shuffling and stuff.
Mm.
And then eventually, after a couple minutes, he's, "I found a secure spot." And he tosses down the rope and kind of like, bounces down the side. And he's got it tied to one of the columns.
Nice. Okay. If no one wants to go first, I will go up.
Yes, please lead the way.
Okay. Yeah, you can make your way up. I mean, as long as you have the rope. Like I said, it's steep, but it's got footholds and stuff. So unless somebody's wearing like plate armor or something, you can move up pretty quickly and pretty easily. So, and if you are wearing plate, it's just going to slow you down essentially. So yeah, you make your way up to the top. Who else is going up there?
Sarah will go.
Okay.
She's going to tell Henry to stay down at the bottom, though. Keep watch.
Okay. How about for peace sake, do you want to climb to the top of the pyramid on the rope? Not yet, apparently. Okay. And Tony never came back either. I don't know if somebody has Facebook open, they can just check if he's talking to us, because I closed all that when we started.
I checked, but I don't see anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
All right, so yeah, you guys get up on the top. You see that Dorcas is standing. He's leaning on one of the columns that's up there. He seems to be rolling up a tobacco leaf that looks very similar to the ones that you saw Orla chewing on. And he says, "Look at all this magnificent view, and you can actually from up here you can see that the land is pretty vast. I mean, you can just see rolling like hills kind of coming out and moving up to like mountainous lands, all forested, of course, though. But you can tell it's hills because it's kind of going up and down. It's quite spectacular. But what you see up on top, which is maybe more relevant to you at this moment, is there are 4 columns. They are fluted, so they got the squirrels in them. It looks like, based on the design of them, just because you can see like notches in the top, but there was probably some kind of wooden structure that formed a ceiling at some point, but it's long since rotted away. In the center of the pyramid top, as it would be, there is in fact a sarcophagus. It's maybe like 7.5, 8 feet long, so it's kind of long. It's one of those ones where you can see like the impression of the face, kind of half the body, like kind of Han Solo Frozen style. Of a man. He's got a large sword. He's holding it like this, classic kind of thing. And on the side of the structure, basically. Oh, I can show you another picture. I have another drawing.
Nice.
I did not skimp at all with this. Professional artistry. Okay, so on top, you basically see how it's set up. This the round thing. A1 is the sarcophagus. The round part up. You can see my mouse right there.
Yep.
The round part is the statue. The statue looks just like what's on the sarcophagus. It's quite tall. He's got his hand like on a two-handed sword, kind of holding it like this into the ground, looking pretty, pretty bold. He's in armor. The statue seems to be made of the same kind of black stone that the rest of the structure is made out of. It is worn with age, but you can still make out that it's kind of a very kind of a good-looking male figure. And there's something written on it, but I can't figure out how to stop sharing the screen. There it is. I lost my... Apparently I'll be sharing the screen for the rest of the time because I don't know how to stop doing it. All right, don't worry about that now. You can just see that, right? That's not really a big deal. Written in kind of an archaic, it's common, so you can definitely make it out, but like the letters and, it's got some like weird letters and kind of dashes and lines under them and just kind of an odd version of it. You see written on the stone underneath the statue. Only the humble may enter. Only the humble may enter.
Only the humble may enter.
Sarah fiddles around in her pocket, filling that ring that she has with her. And she says, well, I guess that means I can enter. I mean, I'm one of the most humble people that I know.
Yes.
That took me a little while to catch up. Whew. And then he finally climbs up where you guys are. You see Fabrice the halfling and his thief companion, Slim.
Okay.
You have a thief? Mine's a rogue.
Yeah, mine's a thief.
Yes, I know about Slim. They say not to mess around with them.
Really? Well, I won't. So we have to be humble to enter. Well, it's gonna be...
I think I know this one. Humble ones are the ones that are on hands and knees, right? So maybe we have to crawl in.
Maybe.
I like the way you think. Fabrice.
Not that I need to crawl. I mean, me standing up is like you guys crawling.
That is true. But still, I think the point is to show some sort of... Well, maybe not. Maybe it is just about crawling.
I don't know. You want to go in there first, Adrian?
Yes, I will.
I always get your name mixed up.
You can call me Maven.
Thanks, Maven.
I apologize
Look
for
at
the
Sarah.
name.
Huh?
I apologize
Oh.
for the name.
I don't mind. I like
I think there
Ariana
was-
and Maven.
No, it's good. I just, when you use one of the automatic generators, it creates, I'm bad at names, and then, yeah. So, right, you see on top of, actually, when Tony appears, we'll do a little summary, because he just got in.
Is he coming back?
Yep.
Good. Ah, yay.
All right.
Tony.
We can't continue without Tony.
Well, that's an old school song. Tony did it again, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, still nothing yet. I see Tony there. He's just not saying anything yet. All right, we'll just continue, and then if when he pops in, I'll do it back. So, like I said, you're sitting on top of this thing. It's got the sarcophagus on top with kind of the imprint of this guy. I should I'd say it's like a relief basically. And then there's also a statue of him, and written on the plinth under the statue are these words. He's stone, just like the rest of the building, as is a sarcophagus. And of course, everything up here seems to be the same material. Not necessarily that it was carved from the same piece of material. I mean, it looked like it's formed as a building, like constructed together, but it definitely all has this kind of strange black stone. It's almost like a dull black.
Sarah is going to stand before the statue and say, please allow us to enter. And she's going to bow a knee towards the statue.
Okay, cool. What's everybody else doing?
Fabrice is right behind Sarah doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's what she thinks is best, Maven will try it.
Okay, yeah. So you guys all kind of bend a knee to the statue, and when you do, you hear kind of like a crunching sound, and then the statue starts to slowly descend into the ground.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
it really worked. I'm surprised.
Okay. Tony's his computer did have like a restart. He's going to try to get back in. Yeah, so you hear, and then you just see this thing start to drop. The entire block that it's on, which is kind of rounded, kind of goes into the ground. I mean, it's going kind of slow, but it eventually passes through the bottom of the basically the platform you're on, and you can, as you're looking down, you can hear it still going, and then as it just drops down into the darkness. After about like a minute, you stop hearing the sound anymore, and you kind of you can look down and I mean, it's nearing the end of the day, and you have infravision. So if you were to stick like your head real close with the elf, you probably could pick up some detail inside. If you'd like to do that, or you could do some other means to get something down there so other people can see. But otherwise, it's dark. Basically, it's a dark pit, about 3 foot, 3 foot square-ish with rounded corners going straight down.
She'll look. Just take a peek.
Okay. Yeah. You look down, and you got to probably go. You're really kind of squinting to try to pick up whatever you can with the information. It does seem like this like tunnel goes down. You can kind of see like the kind of dark, almost like black of the just barely making out the walls because they're just cold stone. It's been inside. And then you can actually see where it kind of seems like it breaks open, and you can see kind of the shades of like heat and cold kind of moving around like there's air, so it kind of opened up into a space below it, and you actually can see roughly the outline of the statue at the bottom. So it basically went down through solid stone and then into some place that there's air, so it looks like there's a chamber down there, and the statue is sitting down there. It's I mean, it's not quite. Well, no, I guess it would be. So it's about 50 feet down because it's about the same distance from there to the statue.
Okay.
Do either of you have any rope? I can tie my lantern to it and we can lower it down so we can see better.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, if I had rope, but I don't.
Well,
Hey, Slim, do you have some rope? And Slim looks at him and says, I got some. And he pulls out the rope.
All right, perfect. So she'll tie one end to her lantern and light her lantern up and then start lowering it down so that they can see into the hole better.
yeah. You kind of hear Dorcas. He's like, oh, I don't know if I trust a rope from that gentleman. As he kind of starts to wind up his rope that he had on the side of the... Yeah, you could do that. So you drop the rope down. Let's see if Tony appears this time. He's trying to get back in. Ooh, I see a picture. That's a good sign.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Ken. All right, perfect. All right, we'll do a quick little recap. Essentially, they climbed to the top of the pyramid structure, and it was flat up top. There was a sarcophagus with kind of the shape kind of like Han Solo in frozen, shape kind of sticking out. 4 columns that seem to have held up some kind of wooden structure that have long since rotted away, and a statue that said, "Only the humble may enter." The party kneeled. He kind of took a knee in front of the statue, which then caused it to drop into the pyramid structure. And currently, they're looking down into like a 3-foot-ish wide or 50-foot down, like kind of pit essentially that drops down into the pyramid. And Crystal's character, whose name is Sarah, is lowering their lantern down into the darkness. That's everything, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good summary. So I haven't lost track of what's going on yet. It's still early. So yeah, you drop it down. You carefully lower it down, and at a certain point, you're just looking at it, it's just reflecting off this like almost like matte black walls inside. But you can see the scrapes and stuff from this statue that kind of scraped its way down. And then at some point, you notice that the lantern light spreads out. You can see that it opens up into a chamber, just like the elf kind of barely could see. You drop the lantern down to let's say the floor, so the rope's dangling straight down, and you can see the statue is standing down there. He's got his sword, and you're kind of above it.
Is there enough rope left that we could tie it off to like one of these columns or to the statue or something? I mean, not to the statue, but to the sarcophagus, something like that.
Yeah, you could probably tie it off to a column. You'd probably have to lift it up off the ground a tiny bit so the lantern will be swaying, but it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. So who wants to go down first, Sarah will say?
Well, I guess I can if you want me to. I'm pretty good at climbing.
Oh, please. I would, but I gotta make sure Henry gets up here safely, and then she'll walk over to the edge and say, "Henry, get up here."
Oh, right. Yeah. So Dorcas, who had been coiling up that rope, kind of gives a side eye and throws it back down the side again.
I'll come with you, Orla. I'll be right behind you.
Okay. Yeah. If you're using a rope and you're going down a pretty small tube, there's virtually no chance of anything happening. So you just kind of make your way down. You take your time, whatever. Eventually, it goes down about 35-ish feet before you come out of the tube, and then you kind of find yourself hanging from the rope, sliding down into a kind of a large space. You would imagine that it's almost the entire size of the pyramid, like you're at the bottom of it essentially. You can see that the lantern light kind of shines out, and it kind of weakly kind of reaches a couple of the walls, but you've got from where you are, you can see just the vague outline of other statues, similar to the one that was on top, as far as the kind of dark stone they're made out of. But these statues are of like footmen. They're wearing chain armor, and they have shields, and they have swords, and they're kind of standing in like a salute, the shield here and holding the sword up. And they're just looking out. And you can see several of them, the edges of them kind of lit up. The space is kind of big though, so without kind of walking towards one of the walls, you won't really pick up more detail than that. But you can see there's a lot of statues down here. And the floor, by the way, is also the same black stone. And I mean, just since the lantern's right there, you can really see it. There's like absolutely no dust on this floor. It's like completely clean.
And the statues are all like normal human size, 5-6 foot tall.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, when Ari gets down there, Orla looks towards her and he goes, y'all mentioned something about what was that word earlier? Humble?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's a pie, isn't it? They make at the tavern?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. But look at this floor. It looks like somebody has swept it recently.
Yes, it does. That's weird. There must be a lot of humble people around.
What do you see down there?
More statues.
Anything dangerous?
They've all got swords. Why don't you come down here with your mighty sword and help them?
Well, hate to use my sword. Hold on a second. And Fabrice climbs down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, slowly but surely, you can all kind of start to climb down into the space. I'm assuming everybody will eventually make their way down. You're kind of gathered around. I'm assuming you're leaving the lantern is hanging off the rope, so it's giving a decent amount of light. Like I said, it doesn't quite reach the walls, as noted. The closest walls to you are to the, I guess that'd be the east and the south. You're not in the center of the room, you don't think, because you can kind of see that there's a bit of a corner there, and you actually see as your eyes are more adjusting to it, because you're sitting down in the darkness. You actually see too that there's a couple of tapestries, though you would have a hard time making out what they are without getting closer to them. Also in that corner, so you've got basically in the southeast corner, you've got one on the kind of the east wall and one on the south wall, with the statues kind of flanking them.
Which way do you want me to start looking, Ari?
Let's just
Well,
go
near
left.
the pictures, the tapestries. Maybe you can take a look at the pictures.
Sure. Let's look at the pictures, Orla.
Does the tapestries, do they have any writing on them?
You're going to walk over to the ones in the south east corners?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, yeah. So you start to move towards these tapestries. They are the first one you're going to see really is the one on the southern wall. That's the southern wall of the east corner. It's flanked by two of these statues. It seems to have a scene of battle, like kind of an epic scene, like where you're looking at two big armies fighting in this large valley surrounded by mountains. One army seems to, you can clearly make out because of the size as you're looking at it. One army seems to have at their disposal giants, and the other seems to be using like weapons of war, like catapults and stuff. So it's kind of this large fight going on in this field. But probably more interesting as you're kind of looking at it, as you start to approach this thing, the two statues, the one on either side of it, lower their swords and kind of step off the tiny plinths they're standing on, and they're actually going to come at you. Now, living statues have an increased chance of surprising. So I must go ahead and roll a d6 to see if you're surprised, Tony. I'll check the.
That's a 1. Here we go.
Oh yeah, you definitely are. Even with the
Tony,
all right,
no.
So two of these things step off. They surprised you, so they're going to get a round of attacks. There's two statues, and it was the elf and the thief that approached. So the first one's attacking Tony's character. God, it rolls 17. I mean, that's definitely going to hit. Oh yeah, that hits. And that would hit armor class 0 actually. And the second one who's attacking the elf rolled a 14, which will hit armor class 3. Does that hit you? Good, Nikki.
Yep.
Okay, so against Tony's character, against Orla. Oh, God. 6 points of damage.
Oh, hell.
What? It just, when you're not expecting, you're like, look at this tapestries.
Wow.
Your character, the elf, gets hit for 4 points.
Oof. All right.
Yeah, these are yeah. Yeah, so they basically attack. The rest of the party, of course, sees this, but everybody's surprised. So now we're going to step into initiative. So basically, you've got this like tapestry that I would say that now that you're this close to it, you could see that it's kind of blocking a corridor. It's kind of like, it has the art on it, as mentioned. Two statues, one was on the other side of it, have stepped forward. The rest of the party is still kind of, I guess you had taken the lantern when you walked over there, so the rest of the party is probably slightly behind you. But we'll go down and you guys can say what you want to do. We're going to declare actions. So I'll just start, just you and your henchman. We'll just do it that way. So what do your characters want to do? Nikki.
My elf's gonna melee,
Okay.
and then Dorcas, he can bow against living statue. He's gonna try to use their attention on us to get back behind him.
Okay, you want to try to sneak behind, do a little
Yep.
backstabby action. All right, good. Okay. And what about Sarah and Henchman?
Sarah and Henry are going to guard the rope.
Okay, you're stay in the center.
Yep.
Makes sense. What about our halfling and their henchman?
He's gonna melee. They're both gonna melee, but he's
Okay.
gonna say, "I'm gonna go low. You go high, okay?"
Okay, nice. And finally, Tony, what about your guys?
Orlo is going to run away back towards where he come from. And as he's doing that, he's going to yell at Norm to get his bow out. So when he runs by, he's going to grab his bow and an arrow and hopefully get some range shots from back there.
Okay. Do you want to just do a fighting withdrawal so they won't attack you, or
Yep,
do you
exactly.
want to do a forward shoot?
Fighting.
Okay. Yeah. All right, fair enough. All right. So since you're in the most danger, I'll have you roll initiative as well, Tony. D6.
Ooh, a 6.
They got 3. All right, you guys gotta go first. All right, so it's BX, so the order is different than what we usually go by. I think movement's first in BX. Somewhere on here it has the... We should open that. I didn't realize we were getting in combat so quickly. So I'm just going to say that's the way it is, because I'm pretty sure movement's first. So you do your fighting withdrawal. And then we go into... Yeah, movement happens first. Anybody who's coming in from melee moves in, and then any missile fire happens. So you could... who's shooting a missile again? Maven? No, you got your characters.
No.
Oh, actually, your guy moved, right? So go ahead and make your... we'll make a move silently.
Okay.
Roll, yeah, just roll percentile. You're a first level thief. So it's not great, but it's 20%. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, 53.
Okay. That doesn't mean he won't be able to do it, but it just means that he's
Right.
not going to be guaranteed to get a backstab. Okay, so missile fire. No. Everybody's meleeing, right? Because you're getting your bow, right?
Yeah, he's going to run back and get his bow and just have Norm stay back there with him.
Okay, we'll say you shoot the bow. I'll let you go this round, but at the end of the round, since you have to get it out and everything. Okay, so then any spells are going off, but nobody's doing a spell, right?
Sarah's going to say, Elf, I'm going to put a hedge of protection around you. And then she's just going to start chanting mumbo jumbo.
Okay. Not realizing the elves cast magic user spells. And, all right, let's go to the melee. Maven.
Okay, I'm going to use my battle axe,
Nice.
which is +1 in magic.
Yep, their armor class is 3. No, their armor class is 4.
Armor class is 4. Okay.
Yep.
Roll my... Okay. Is a 15. So yeah, that would hit
Oh.
armor class. Well, the battle axe isn't listed here, but...
Yeah, all your weapons should have the same chance to hit, but you'll have +1 with the battle axe here.
Yeah, so 16. Yeah, that hits armor class 1.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm assuming you're attacking the one on you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right, so D8 +1 for damage on a battle axe, and then if you have any strength bonus, you get that as well.
Let's see. 4, so 5 damage.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that actually takes a pretty big chunk out of it. Like you hit this thing, and like it holds up its shield, which is stone, and the axe hits it and like breaks a big chunk of the shield off, and it falls to the ground. And you can actually see that part of like the arm is broken off as well.
Nice.
Nice. And your henchman is also meleeing. No, he's moving. Spell being cast. Okay. Then your two characters, young. Who is the halfling attacking? The crystal statue on Maven or the one on or Well, that
Orla.
was at Orla. So okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's going after the one that was on Orla. So I roll 17 for Fabrice, and that hits armor class 0.
Oh,
And
that
the
definitely hits too.
yeah, and the henchman rolled 20, natural 20.
Oh, nice. That definitely hits. So
For
gives you.
the damage, I did 6 for the
Okay.
halfling and 7 for the henchman.
Oh, nice. Okay. You know what? The halfling would have destroyed the creature, and they're pretty close together. So let's do this high or low to see if the henchman realized that and attack the other one instead.
Hi.
Yeah, I rolled a 5. Okay, so yeah, he actually went to he saw you smash that one and did like one of those like Witcher moves where he like spun around backwards with the sword. And you're like, wow, that's a pretty good henchman. And hits the one that was on Maven and smashes it, and it actually knocks the entire like shoulder that had the shield off. And there's a huge chunk missing from it as it kind of staggers, but it still is standing. And you know these things don't feel pain, so it's still fighting, although it looks very, very, very damaged. And it is the end of the round for you, so I'm going to let the bow go now. So go ahead and shoot your arrow, Tony.
Yeah, Orla, he's like, can't believe that this has happened so quickly, and he's just not thinking straight. But he says, "Oh, well, maybe I can." Fab and his henchmen, they are always showing off. So I'm going to see if I can hit this with the bow. I'm going to tell them that I was dazed and confused, but I got it anyway. Oh yeah, let's see, armor class 4
That's what you did.
and 4 points of damage with the arrow.
That's enough. So yeah, the arrow comes whipping play. You guys melee this thing, and then it kind of lifts its sword to move forward, and then kind of out of the darkness, an arrow comes and hits it, and the arrow kind of like falls to the ground, and the statue stops for a second, and then just shatters and falls into chunks of stone on the ground. And then now the floor is not swept anymore, and it's quiet.
I can't believe that actually worked. Good job.
Well, of course it worked. I mean, I've got a headache, but I was able to aim just right there in the right spot. I knew what I was doing.
Oh, wow. Or like you're bleeding all over the floor.
Oh yes, I'm not doing well at all, but I'm glad you're here because that was an amazing feat of strength you had there.
Well, lucky strike. Let's wrap something around one of your wounds here. And then he pulls off one of, some cloth and, tries to wrap it around it so that it stems the bleeding.
Okay. Yeah, you can spend a few minutes doing that. Oh, you guys do not have good luck. Okay. Well, so as you're doing that, what's everybody else doing while it's happening? Because I guess I should give everybody some
when
tips.
the first roll of the night you make is a 1, it's going to be a bad night.
That's right. It's right.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, man.
All right. Yeah, what's everybody else doing while? So you're wrapping up his wounds. Did you guys want to look at the tapestries beyond the other tapestries? Well, there's 2 right next to each other where you just destroyed the statues. I guess I should say.
Maybe's gonna look at the statue pieces on the floor and just kind of make sure they're not, they're just like statue pieces, and she's just gonna look in.
They're stone. Yeah. You can study. You've probably never seen anything like that before. Some very strong magic must have been used to animate these for sure.
Okay.
But they don't seem to be like forming back together or anything like that. And none of the other statues near you are moving
Okay.
at this point.
Then I will look at the other tapestry.
Okay. Yeah, so you again let the first one to answer actually Orla's question, because you didn't actually have a good chance to really stare at it. There is some writing around it. It seems to be it's in kind of again a very archaic common, and it's basically talking about this battle you imagine, and it talks about the great warlord running off in the forces of chaos, the giants and such, and it gives a lot of landmarks and like locations and stuff like that, and none of it is anything that you recognize. So you would imagine it's probably places that either no longer exist or aren't called those things anymore. The other one is a similar scene, except it's happening on the sea. There's a like the ships battling, and the ships with the humans on it, and the elves and the dwarves, like the forces of law, seem to be fighting dragons. They're shooting tremendously large crossbows from the decks of ships at these red dragons that are kind of swooping down and breathing fire. And you see the dragons falling into the thing. And if you were to take the time to read, as you're looking at those, you see once again, there's a kind of a story about the great warlord having led the armies to destroy the dragons, and free the land.
Yeah, you see the halfling basically lost in front of the tapestry. He's like staring at all the pictures, and he says, "Yeah, words. Maybe you can try to read it for us. I can make out great, war," and then he scratches his head and looks to Ari for further translation.
Yes, I would read it to them.
Okay. Yeah, it's epic. It probably extremely exaggerated, you would imagine, if you're used to reading stuff. That's like it's basically poems. It's written in kind of that kind of almost mythical phrasing. The tapestries are large. These entrances are over 10 feet wide by 10 foot tall, and the tapestries completely block them. They block two passageways, one to the south and one to the east. Well, to the west, I should say.
Okay.
Fabrice's henchman, Slim, looks up at the tapestry, and he walks up close to it and pulls on it. Is it so old that it's falling apart, or is it still intact?
No, it's actually in perfect condition.
What's it made out of?
They are made out of, you would imagine, some kind of animal pelts. And as you're looking at it, once you realize that, like kind of like leather, but super soft. And what's interesting is you think that, and then you're like, oh, there's got to be sewn together or whatever. You start looking through the thing, and if the skins are sewn together, it was done so well you can't, it's mixed into the tapestry so well that you can't see it. Otherwise, it's from some incredibly large animal.
Yeah,
With very soft skin.
Slim's gonna look at that, and he's like, this looks pretty valuable. Maybe we could take this whole thing and sell it for money.
The tapestry?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Those nobles love these types of pictures.
I mean, if you want to carry it, it's pretty big.
Well, it's one big haul, I'll tell you that.
Well, we should probably go deeper first, and then, if we have time, we can grab it on the way out.
Ooh, sounds good to me. And then Fabrice, he nods. It's like, good man. Nice.
I look at Sarah and I say, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I should also point out, right, the room is bigger, too, if you walked around. There are a lot more statues in here, though. So,
More statues.
How many statues are there?
I mean, from where you are, you can see that there's at least 8. But from where you started, you actually saw there was some on the other side of the room too. So you imagine there's like a couple dozen statues in this room if they're spaced out the way you think they are, and the room is as large as you think it is. You'd have to walk around the room to really know. Or actually, somebody with introversion could walk away from the party and look around.
Orlo is, patching up all his wounds, and he looks when he sees Fabrice about moving around. He says, "Well, wait just a minute. Sarah, do you detect? Do you think like these things are all guardians, and if we walk up to some more, they're going to jump on us again?"
Sarah seems to think for a moment, and she's gonna look over at one of these statues, and I don't know if this will help at all, but she speaks Medusa. So could she know anything about statues because of that?
Yeah, I mean, having some information about Medusa speaking the language and stuff, you would know that generally speaking, if somebody is petrified by Medusa, they're typically in some kind of they're making some kind of horrible expression, like usually surprise, but it could be also just pain, and typically shielding, that kind of stuff. These statues are standing basically like at attention. So if they were created by a Medusa, which seems unlikely based on the type of stone that they are as well, that they would have had to have done it very willingly, which would be pretty brave, because they're standing perfectly
I believe that they're just carvings of soldiers, but just to be on the safe side, it would be best not to get too close to them.
Well, Fabrice, if you're going to move on up, just be careful because I can't take another hit like that one.
I think I'm gonna stay right next to you, Orla, just to
Well,
protect you.
I'm not moving anywhere. I'm going to sit down for a few minutes and enjoy this fine, cold elven wine that I still have in my skin here.
Well, Slim, my good man, I offered you 1/3 of my loot, so perhaps it's time for you to take over and see if you can find some stuff. And you see Slim the thief looking kind of glum. He's like, "Oh, all right." And he starts slowly and very carefully walking towards the other tapestry.
the one that depicts warfare, the naval warfare.
Yeah.
Okay,
other one.
yeah, sure. Yeah, you walk up towards it, and again, the way that it's positioned in the corner is that there was one of the statues that came to life was kind of between these two tapestries, and then there was one on the other side of the other one that came to life was on the other side of the one with the giant battle, and the one on the other side of the naval one is still standing there, of course. So he walks up to it, carefully, getting ready to take off, I guess, if necessary. It doesn't seem to be affected by him getting close to it. He goes right up to it, and it's kind of stays the same. It doesn't turn its head. It doesn't come to life or anything.
Okay. Yeah, he inspects that tapestry too for the condition that it's in.
Same.
Nice. And he turns around and gives everybody a good thumbs up and says, "Well, it's clear. It doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it. Should I go and check the other door?"
As he's standing there, though, he kind of is, because he was checking the tapestry pretty good. He's kind of like pulled it back to see if it was the same condition or whatever. He smelled behind, which you didn't in the other direction. This is, of course, to the west. He smelled kind of a almost like a wet animal smell coming from that direction. And a bit of a breeze.
He holds up his finger, and he sniffs the air. He says, "Shh." And he says, "I smell something." And then he points behind the tapestry and motions for Fabrice and the other party members to come and help him take a look.
Sure it's not your lower lip?
Oh, come on.
Well, he didn't say if it was a good or bad smell, so.
And he turns around. He's like, "Wet fur. Wet fur. Something's
fur.
behind here."
Wet fur. Oh,
And he draws his sword and then pulls the tapestry just right, just a little bit to see if there's like a passageway behind it.
There's a passageway behind it, yeah. It opens up into a passageway that's just slightly smaller than the tapestry. Just the weight of the tapestry probably keeps it from waving, because when you open it up, you actually can feel a breeze, which is maybe a little strange because the other room was so still. You didn't really notice it until you opened it. It's dark, so you can't really see much, being that you don't have infrared or whatever. But you definitely smell it even stronger, like this kind of animal smell. And you guys have been around enough to know that it probably smells like maybe like an animal den or something because of its kind of wet fur smell coming from the darkness.
do you guys think that a family of, I don't know, wolves or bears found this place and decided to make it their home?
Fabrice answers. He's like, maybe it's rats. I don't know whether if a bunch of wolves would live in a place like this.
Well, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, of course, but knock some sense back into me. Maybe, did you look up there close? If it's wolves or large creatures, does the tapestry have mud or dirt or anything on it where they've been pushing it aside to go in there? Or does it seem maybe like someone's just pulling it aside like with human hands?
It's a good question. Yeah, you examine the tapestry. This tapestry doesn't look like it's really been moved at all. I mean, it's not dirty. It's not pulled. If it's been moved very delicately. You don't see any mud. Like I said, this room is clean. In fact, if you look in the ground, like just if you pull it back more, so you can maybe shine the lantern into it, you don't see any like mud or guck or anything around the edge of the tapestry here.
Well, now that's just darn right strange, do you not think?
Really strange.
I think it's strange.
Well, it's only one way to find out what it is.
You want to take a peek?
Well, is Slim, can he fit through there?
Well, I don't have one of those elf eyes, a pair of elf eyes. You know what I'm saying? I look into the dark and I just see darkness.
Did not Fabby, old boy, he didn't buy you any torches?
I bought you torches. Come on. Have a little spine, Slim. And he's like, oh. He takes the torch and he
Dorcas can go with you.
Yeah.
Just volunteering Dorcas for this.
And Dorcas kind of looks. What's your charisma there, Fabrice?
Fabrice's charisma is 14.
Okay, yeah, pretty good. Okay, yeah. So we'll say that he'll go for now. And you're offering a good amount of treasure. So yeah, you light up the torch and pull the tapestry aside, and of course, as soon as the torch light enters the space, you can see it goes down like 30-ish feet, which obviously the torch covers that far, and then it looks like it breaks off into a T section, which would be basically north to south. But across the hallway, so it's like it's a T, but across the hallway you see another tapestry. This one is kind of like ripped and torn at the bottom. It's just kind of ragged and hanging there.
Yeah, he's gonna. How tall is this hallway?
About 16 feet.
16 feet. Okay. He's gonna say, "Well, I don't trust the floor." You know what I'm saying? And he climbs up to the side of the hallway and tries to climb up to the top. And
The ceiling?
yeah, close to the ceiling, but he's still clinging to the side of the hallway. And without stepping on the ground, he's like doing the Spider-Man thing sideways, trying to, climb sideways.
Okay,
And,
yeah. I mean, it's like a stone wall in here. That seems possible. I am going to penalize it a little bit because it's not really to go that far is going to be tricky because it's not exactly perfect. So we'll take 10% off your chance.
Sure.
But how far are you going down? Just to the C section, and you're gonna hold it. Won't be able to hold torch either. Somebody else will have to hold the torch.
No, I mean he's just gonna, hand over the torch to Dorcas and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, buddy, seems like you and I are in the same predicament. You hold the torch and try to follow me, all right?" And he sticks to the wall and he's crawling, wall crawling.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Give me a percentile roll. So you have a 77% chance.
77. Where did it go? There we go. I got 10%.
Oh wow. Yeah, you are like Spider-Man. All right. Yeah. So you're able to and Dorcas is kind of holding the torch for you. You see your long shadow being stretched across. Yeah, and you get to the corner and you can kind of. Did you walk on the north wall or the south wall?
South wall.
Okay. So when you get to that corner, you can look down the south passageway pretty easily, and you can actually see that it looks like the passage went to the south, like maybe like you can't see very far, but it doesn't go very far. Looks like it went down to like an alcove and then stopped. However, it looks like there's been some kind of a collapse, and you can see actually that the walls collapse there, and there's a tunnel that seems to be leading, like a dirt tunnel that seems to be leading, like kind of with an upward slant. And in addition to that, you can see just a hint of light. Yeah, because remember you came in here near the end of the day, so you think maybe that it leads out. There's a passageway leading out there.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can't really see fully because you don't have the torch with you, and you can't climb over there with the torch.
Yeah, I mean, so long as the place is kind of clear of, creatures, he's gonna look around and try to, as stealthily as possible, without making too much noise. He's gonna climb down to the floor.
Yeah, you get down to the floor. Okay. Like I said, you're pretty close. At this point, Dorcas just kind of walks down the hall to where you're at, and the torch light kind of shines. Go ahead and roll a d6 to see if you are surprised by the thing that comes charging out of that room at you.
Oh no! Roll 4.
4. Oh, you're not surprised. Okay, you hear this strange, like kind of noise, and then you hear like scratch, 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 really loud, and something is charging. Something big, you imagine, is charging out of the room to what would be your west, with the tapestry that's all half torn up. So we'll roll initiative. But what would you like to do?
He's gonna say, "Make a run for it, Dorcas," and then he's gonna run back to the main room.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are gonna run. Go ahead and make an initiative. I'm assuming Dorcas is gonna run. Nikki.
I got 6.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the creature got 2. Okay, so yeah, you
3.
guys turn and start running towards the tapestry. Full tilt. Is this thing gonna follow you? Let me give it a high or low, young.
Hi.
Okay, well, you're lucky there. Okay, yeah. You basically burst through the tapestry. Dorcas kind of burns a hole on the side of it as pushes it to the side with a torch. And you guys fall down into the room, like breathing heavy. And you hear like some growling sounds, but it doesn't sound like whatever's back there is coming towards you.
Oh, there's something back there. Something big. Something mean. Is it still following us, Dorcas?
I don't believe so, Chubb. I'm only doing Dorcas because that's my stay away.
Well, listen, Slim, you get on that side and let me get on this side. If it comes through the tapestry, it's not going to expect us, and we can stab the old buddy in the back.
Sounds good to me. I mean, so long as Fabrice does something. Maybe you could stand in front of it, Fabrice? It's like, oh, maybe. And he looks to Ari.
Oh, I'm so hurt right now.
You can hear something moving outside, but it seems to be hesitant to just like charge through the room. Like it seems to be like sniffing or something, or it's hard to really say what it's doing out there. But it's definitely on the other side of the tapestry. Obviously, this is not the only way out of the room. But yeah, it seems like it's moving toward you, but not quickly.
All
so
right.
You have time to set up whatever you want to set up.
Yeah, I'm going to take like one side and up against the wall, the room wall, and have that Slim on the other side in case it does come through there. Maybe we can get a backstab on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ari, move that tapestry to the side. I think I have something for it.
Okay, I'll take my battle axe. Like I'm standing, holding it out, and like move it back with the axe. Kind of like.
To reveal that you're all standing in that room.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Yep. All right. Okay. Yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's going to react to that. Obviously. What is it that you were planning on doing?
If I say something, I'm casting a sleep spell on it.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So you pull back the tapestry to one side, and you see what a huge bird's head It seems to be the shoulders, these hairy shoulders behind it, as it kind of looks up at you. Its big eyes kind of stare at you, and it goes, and it's going to try to move. So you said you had it ready. You can cast your spell. You'd like?
Okay. She pulls out like this music box, and she opens it up, and it starts to play a melody, and sleeps the creature. I think it just does it, right? 4 HD or less. Only one creature or 4 hit die can be affected.
Yeah, you can focus on the one single creature. Yeah, you're like. And the creature's kind of like tilts its head to the side, and it charges.
Oh,
Great.
So yeah, what's everybody gonna do? We're gonna go into initiative. I know we got some backstabs happening. So, but what's everybody else want to do? What is Maven gonna do? You're standing right next to the path with a battle axe.
Yeah, so yeah, melee.
Okay, and I guess Dorcas is gonna try to. He's gonna try to backstab as well. We have all our thieves lined up to try to stab this thing as it runs by. What about Sarah? Will you cast your spell? What next round? What do you want to do? That did not work.
I'm gonna go guard the rope again.
Okay, so stand in the middle of the room. How about Fabrice? What's your plan?
Fabrice is going to drink the potion of levitation.
Nice. Okay. And okay, and Orla, what's your henchman doing?
I'm going to have him because he usually stays at the back watching anyway. I'm going to have him use my bow since he carries it for me and missile with my bow.
Okay, nice. All right, yeah. So let's since you're right in its path, Nikki, I'll have you roll initiative for the group.
Okay.
2 for the creature. Oh, okay, you're going to go first. I mean, clearly it needs to move into the space before you can engage it, so I'm just going to have that happen first. So yeah, but then you will win initiative. So you charge through. I mean, it has no idea. It's not an intelligent creature. It is effectively a giant bear with the head of an owl. And it comes charging through it. Everybody's going to get to backstab it. So, and all the melee is going to happen. So, the poor, defenseless bear living on in the dungeon. Okay, so Maven, go ahead and make your attack with the battle axe against, because you're probably the one's going to attack. So,
yeah. 14. So 15. So that's armor class 2.
That hits. Its armor class is 5.
All right. 1d8 plus 1.
How many hit points this thing has?
And once again, 5 points of damage.
All right. Wow. Okay. And go ahead and do Orcus's Dorcas. Keep going, Orcus. Go ahead and do Dorcas's backstab.
Okay. Ooh,
so it's plus 4 to hit.
Dorcas the rogue, but yeah, I rolled a 3. So.
Oh yeah, that does not hit. Dorcas is not a fighter. He's a rogue. He's not a thief.
He's a rogue. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So no spells are happening with your characters, Crystal. Okay, Fabrice.
Fabrice chugs his, he drank his potion of levitation.
Right, so you're up.
Yeah, so
what about the rogue?
Float up. The rogue is going to actually backstab.
Okay, go for it. Plus 4 to hit.
All right. Ooh, 20. Natural 20.
Wow, that's the second time he's done that, right? That automatically hits, obviously, so you will get double damage. So roll your damage and double it.
All right.
I hope he's backstabbing with the polearm.
And I rolled a 1. Jeez.
So 2. All right, well, it's double. All right, bring it home, Orla, with your backstab.
Orla sees this thing charge through, and he sees what kind of creature it is, and he kind of wells up in tears as he remembers this song he heard at a tavern one time called the Bear, and the Maiden Fair. And he just starts crying as he is going to hit armor class 8 and miss it.
Oh, no. All right, and finally, the henchman with the bow.
Yep, let's see if Norm can bring us home. Wow, these henchmen, he rolled a nat 20.
All right, D6 for a bow, right?
Yep, and it'll be 4 points.
Okay. That's a lot of damage, and this thing looks actually kind of emaciated and small, but unfortunately not enough. So it excuse me. It it moves forward into the only creature that fought it head on, the tiny little elf, their battle axe.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna die.
And it gets 2 claws and a bite. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 7.
Okay, so that means it doesn't need a whole lot to hit you.
Yep, I know.
Okay, so it is a 5 hit die creature. It only needs an 8 to hit you. Okay, so claw. 6 misses. Claw. Oh my god, 3 misses. Bite with the giant owl beak. Ooh, that hits. Alright, that's 18. 2 claws and a bite does a d8 damage for the bite. So it swings at you, but you definitely move out of the way, and then it comes down. It's like with its beak. Ooh, and does 6 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh, clamps right through you and lifts you up in there and throws you. Your body kind of flies across the room and splats on the ground in front of the 2 magic users that are waiting there.
Yep.
Sadly, Dorcas kind of looks at your purse of coins. So I guess you are now Dorcas. We'll get to hear your best terrible British accent.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing's still up. It kind of looks around, and you can see now that it's obviously surrounded by people. And it did take quite a bit of damage, so I'm actually going to roll morale before we get into the... It's got a 9 morale. No, it's fighting. It seems like it's maybe in some kind of animal rage at this point. So, yeah, what's everybody's plan? You've kind of surrounded it at this point because it ran out into the center of you all.
Fabrice is gonna shoot a sling stone while he's up in the air.
Okay, nice. The other rogue's still going to just engage. Everybody's going to engage down there. Dorcas and...
Yeah, Dorcas will do that for now. Yep.
how about Orla and...
No, Orla
friends.
is going. Orla sees that it just picks Maven, and just tosses her body just like a rag doll and splats it, and he's still thinking back to that song and kind of feeling sorry for this bear creature. So he is going to actually use move silently and try to sneak behind that tapestry that it come from and sneak down that hallway and go away from the battle. But he'll have Norm will continue to shoot with arrows.
Okay, nice. All right, sounds good. How about the magic users? What's happening with Sarah and company?
Sarah tells Henry to continue to guard the rope. And what she wants to do is she wants to go over to one of the statues and use her mirror to shine light into the bear's eyes. So hopefully it will charge her. And then she could move and it'll hit a statue. That's her plan.
What light are you going to use? From the lantern?
From her hand mirror. She has a hand mirror.
What light? The statues are all in the dark. You'd have to bring light to the statue, right, to do that?
Does no one have a torch?
Yeah, Dorcas does, who's standing on the other side of the room.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, you could probably reflect some light from where you are, but you wouldn't be close enough to a statue unless you want to move the light source to the statue. I like the idea, but you get it to charge you, but it's not going to crash into a statue because you're by the rope, which is near the middle of the room.
Okay. Never mind. I'll just keep guarding the rope.
Okay. I like the idea. You would have to get close to a statue to do it, which you certainly could do. Okay. Since you've only got one character, Nick, you roll initiative. 4 for the beast.
All right.
You want to win this.
Another 3.
Okay.
D6 will only roll 3.
All right. Everybody's kind of around it. It's going to just kind of lash out. Since you guys lost initiative, nobody's moved yet. So the only people that aren't around it are the bow shooting henchmen of I guess the levitating halfling. So I guess actually the only people that are there is Dorcas and Orla, because you haven't moved yet, Orla. Oh, and also Slim. The 3 thieves. All right. So against, we'll decide. It's gonna focus on fire on one thing because it's an animal. That's what it would do. So I'm just gonna go down the line. It's going after Slim. Sadly. Claw. What's Slim's armor class? Oh my god, roll a 20. So that's not gonna matter. 15.
Armor
What's
class
Slim's armor
7.
class, Young?
7.
Okay. Oh, so okay, same thing. So it's 8. Okay, so both claws hit. However, the bite missed, which is devastating. But I think, does this do a thug attack? Yes, it does. Yep.
His hit point is 3. We don't need to roll.
So it basically goes claw, rip, and then it reaches down to bite, and there's nothing there because there's 2 parts of Slim on either side of the ground.
Slim goes, oh shoot. And then you see him get torn to pieces.
Oh, Slim falls to his death. And so the increase in the amount of gold that each character is going to walk away with goes up each round that goes on. All right, you're going to move silently out, or Alyssa, go ahead and make your move roll. That's going to be 20%, I think. Right? No, you're your second level.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
second
25.
level.
25%.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Ooh, 5.
Oh yeah, you're gone. Into the corridor. And I mean, you can pretty much move your full movement. So it's kind of dark down here, obviously. But there is that little bit of light coming kind of from the end of the corridor. But you can kind of move down into the darkness. But at this point, you're basically walking into the dark. But you go on the other side of the tapestry, and they're basically hidden from the rest of the...
Yeah, he's just probably going to move, 10 feet down past the tapestry hanging.
Okay, so the owlbear has done steal. You snuck out of the place, Orla, and now everybody else gets to go. So missile first. So that would be the slingshot from Fabrice.
Yep, he's gonna go. Oh, you bastard! You killed Slim! And I roll 5. I guess he was too shocked.
Too shocked by being torn apart. And also the bow shot from
Norm? Yep, let's see what he
Norm,
can do this time. He did pretty good last time. Oh, a 13. That will probably hit what, armor class 7, maybe?
13 hits. 5, armor class 5, actually. And that's his armor class. Yep.
Oh, wow. 3 points.
Yeah, he's 1, right? 3 points. Okay, so it's not dead, but it's very hurt. Is that all the missiles, right? And that just leaves a final melee attack from the roguish Dorcas.
Dorcas always think, oh, we're in a spot of bother. And he's gonna roll a freaking 2 because Dorcas is awful.
Worst thief ever. Worst rogue ever. All right, yeah, so Dorcas misses. And the thing turns. I mean, it is still pretty hurt, but that wasn't enough devastating damage for it to decide it was going to run, so it's going to stay. So let's see. Let's do our actions again. What does Dorcas want to do?
He wants to run away.
Okay.
He saw Slim get ripped apart. He saw his person die.
Fabrice is gonna yell. He's gonna climb up the wall. Owlbears can't climb up on trees, or could they? But not the wall, though, right?
You could try to run to see where do you want to run to the west, through the tapestry, which is, I mean, you didn't see him, but that's where Orla went, or to the south through a tapestry, which you don't know where it goes, or into the open space of the room towards the rope.
Let's go into the open space of the room for now. Just get away from it.
You're gonna run back towards where the magicians are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Speaking to them, what does Sarah and company want to do?
Henry's going to cast a spell, actually.
Nice. Sarah's just standing by.
Sarah's guarding the rope. Yep.
Okay. And Fabrice is sling, I should assume.
Yeah, he's gonna sling.
All right.
He's gonna
And
he's gonna
Orla?
taunt it. He's gonna be like, "You want to come and get me? You want to come and get me? Come on!" While he's like floating in the air.
Nice. I say. And Orla, you're out in the
Yeah,
hallway.
he's just staying. Yeah, he's just staying in that hallway, listening to the end. Hopefully, the sounds of battle will end. And Norm, he's gonna take another bow shot. He's doing pretty good with that bow.
Nice. All right, let's go initiative, Nikki.
All
Oh,
right.
got a 1.
And I get another 3.
All right, well, you get to go
Six only
first.
rolls 3.
Movement's gonna happen. Are you running like a retreat? So if it targets you, that it'll get a bonus to its attack, or are you just gonna move half your movement, fight or retreat? Just move whatever 15 feet.
Dorcas?
Yeah.
No, he's just gonna run. He's just running.
He's just running. Okay, so if it targets you, it's going to get a bonus, but it's probably not going to matter.
Nope.
Yeah. All right, so that's movement. So then we go missile. So that'd be the slingshot.
Oh man, with a 10, that's probably gonna miss.
Most likely, its armor class is 5.
He hits armor class 8, actually.
Yeah,
No,
that does not hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably bounces off its thick hide. How
Oh,
about the bow
actually,
shot from?
I was looking at Slim. Hold on. 10. Yeah. that
Remember,
hits
too, you get a
armor class 7.
+1 missile attack if you didn't factor that in already, because you're a halfling.
Yeah, armor class 7 is what I hit with that.
Okay.
So I miss.
And you're also in short range, so
Oh.
you also get +1 for that. So
Okay.
+1 for that, +1 for being halfling, but that's still only armor
Very
class
close.
6. All right, yeah. So so close, but no cigar. How about Orla? I mean, your henchman Norm.
Yep, Norm, he comes through again with a 15 on the die,
Nice.
and it'll be 5 points of damage with this one.
That is enough to kill it.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Yes. So Norm, the owlbear slayer.
Oh
Yeah. Tell us how you killed this owlbear with the bow. Tell it.
yeah, Norm, he doesn't know what happened to Orla. You know, he thinks maybe that Orla got attacked by it because he doesn't see Orla, so he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing. But he sees the halfling, up in the air, and he starts to notice he's kind of levitating back down some. So he thinks that bear is fixing to reach up and grab the halfling. So he just takes that aim with that last arrow and strikes it right between the beak.
Yep. It clunks to the ground. It kind of crawls a little bit. You can actually see that. Still a devastating predator, but it looks like it probably hasn't been eating very much. It was pretty small, but you could. It looked ragged, but it's dead now, as it's laying there.
Once Orla hears that all the fighting quiet down, they'll hear him yell from behind the tapestry. He'll go, "Hey, come on this way. There's no more of them back here. I'll set up back here to surprise them if they did. It'll probably have some stuff in its lair we can get. Come on this way."
All right. A Dorcas will go up to Norm and say, "Oh, cheerio, right on, old chap. That was a wonderful hit. I mean, I would have maybe done that myself, but I was waiting for you to take the lead."
Well, thank you. Of course, I've been, Orla's been teaching me about how to shoot straighter, and it seems to have worked.
Yes,
Yeah,
carry on, carry on.
That was 1 in a million, kid.
He says.
Yeah, I mean, Dorcas would know that, of course, that Maven had a magical. Actually, the rest of Marty might know that too, but Dorcas would definitely know.
Yeah.
As they work together, so.
Well, I mean, does anybody would like this wonderful axe? Bit of a loud and cumbersome weapon for me, but you might like it. He looks at Fabrice, who's so small.
It's okay. If I were to try to grab that, I'll probably fall over. I mean, even though I'm pretty strong myself, as a halfling, I'm like the strongest halfling in my village.
Oh, yes, quite right, quite right. I forget about the laws of physics sometimes.
And he floats down finally and goes up to a poor Slim's torn body and says,
Oh, poor Slim. We have known each other for, half a day or so, but still, I feel so bad for your death.
And then he picks through his stuff.
Oh,
Nice.
Orcus looks at Slim and says, "Yes, tragic." And then he just grabs Maven's stuff.
All right, yeah, you guys collect up the stuff. What are the magic users doing?
They're coming out from defending the rope and congratulating everyone on a job well done.
Excellent. Yes, you guys can make you collect up all the anything that might be useful to you, like the magical battle axe, and whatever the bodies had, and you're able to kind of move west through that tapestry and into that hallway where, again, it moves down only about 20 or 30 feet at the most. It opens up into a T section to your left, which would be the south. It looks like the wall's broken down. Of course, Slim saw all this, so no, you guys hadn't seen it. And it looks like the wall broke down to the south, and it looks like there's like a rough cave, like tunnel here, and this is probably how the bear gets in and out, you would imagine. Directly across from you is another tapestry, but it's really torn down, and that's where that stink of the animal den comes from. And to your right, which would be the north, you can see the hallway goes down about 20 feet, and then it turns to the east. And you can see all along that wall, there's a little copper plaques, copper-colored plaques, I should say. They're stone. They're basically pottery. Because remember, the place is all black, but there's these like copper-colored plaques like stuck to the wall, and you can see that there's some writing on them. There's a bunch of them. I mean, you guys have been around long enough to recognize they're probably niches where bodies are buried.
well, I'm going to look behind this dirty tapestry. I guess that's where that creature come from. It's probably got a few things in here. If I had to guess, Fabrice, do you want to come with me?
I'll come with you.
Is Fabrice still levitating? I mean, how long does it last? Does he have any idea?
The potion lasts for 6 turns plus a d6 turns, so at least an hour.
Okay.
The rest of it is yeah. So I mean, I guess I'll let you know when you fall, but if you're up in the air, but you don't have to be floating. You can go down to the ground. It's up to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
far,
he's
you've
on
only levitated for 1 turn.
Okay. Yeah, he's on the ground right now. So
Okay. But you got at least an hour. So yeah, you guys move past that kind of torn tapestry. You can actually see pieces of it still on the ground, and you kind of shine as you move deeper into this room. It's kind of a octagonal shaped room. All the ways pushed back, and the furthest side away from you, kind of a pointy side. You can see that there is, like I read a word, a nest. It looks like there's some wood and other fabrics and tapestries. It's all kind of been torn down and pushed into this corner, which looks like, and you can smell like this animal smell. And you do actually see the glint of metal. And if you were to go up and look, you can see that there's like scatter all over the floor. You see a mixture of electrum and silver pieces.
Well, look here, Fabrice. Got this one right.
Well, that sounds pretty nice. Let's pick them up. Maybe we'll give our fallen companion a nice little funeral and keep whatever's left over afterwards.
Okay, yeah, you guys can start to pick up the treasure in there. Crystal, roll me a d6.
Okay.
Doom is imminent.
2.
2. Okay, nice. It takes you about a turn or so to go through this stuff. You end up collecting up about 1,000 silver pieces and 1,000 electrum pieces. You also find kind of jammed below some refuse. You kind of notice a glint. You pull it out. There's a necklace that is silver with some kind of some stones in it. They look like they might be diamonds, but they're small. Small diamonds. But you figure it's got some value. It's probably more valuable than the rest of the stuff. But so there's a necklace, a silver necklace with diamonds. There's 1,000 electric pieces and 1,000 silver pieces in here.
Sarah, why don't you wear this necklace? It would probably go best on you.
Oh yes, I completely agree that it would probably go best with me. And she'll take the necklace and put it on.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's silver. It's a bit tarnished now, but maybe you polish it down a little bit. Kind of rub out a little bit of the tarnish, and it's very nice. You think you definitely get a decent amount of gold for it if you want, or wear it and it'll look nice on you.
Yes, I think I'll have Henry tarnish this, rub this out later.
I like to think she switched her picture. That's definitely Dorcas. All right, so from this room, I mean, you basically have a few options here. You could go to the north, down that corridor past the burial niches, basically, that goes a bit to the north and cuts to the east. You could go south, which would lead you back outside, you would imagine. Or you could go back to the east and go into that room with all the statues. So it's kind of you're basically in an intersection. You can go in all four directions from here.
Yeah, Orlo just stands there looking kind of puzzled. And, well, she's not here anymore to tell us which way to go. Sarah, do you want to tell us which way to go?
Well, Orla, I think that we should have someone lead the way down that direction, and she's going to point randomly to the east.
Okay. The east is where you came from originally, so back into the room with the statues.
Yeah, Fabrice says, that's where we just came from. How about we go west, over there? And then he starts floating up, and then, does the ceiling walk.
Yeah. West is literally the room with the owlbear's den. This group has no leader.
With a bunch of non-direction knowing.
Well, I mean, I was thinking we could go back through that other tunnel we haven't seen. That's, But if you guys are,
This is why we should be mapping.
She's going to point a direction we haven't gone yet.
Fabrice says, well, it looks mighty familiar. It seems like that's where we were, maybe. And then he starts heading north.
Yeah, no. Basically, north is going to move you deeper into the. I mean, obviously, you could go east, just so you know that's. It's just because you're like, that looks like it's interesting. It's like literally where you just came from. There was more stuff in the statue room. Obviously, there's another entrance, but to the north is a fresh area where you've not explored. So yeah, you go down about 20, 30 feet, and then it cuts to the east. Go another like 10, 15 feet, then it cuts to the north, so you got a little zigzag going on. And then eventually it cuts to the east again, so you're basically making this zigzag pattern. This is not a huge place, so we'll just do one check when you get... Actually, whoever lit that torch, I guess it was Slim's torches originally, that one's just burnt out. The lantern's still more than fun. So if you, at this point, you just have the lantern unless you want to light another torch. And wait... I'd say.
I was just going to say, Dorcas, I'm afraid I lack the means to provide him light, but maybe the fair maiden can assist us. He looks at Sarah.
Yes. 1 second, and she will take out a torch and use the lantern to light her torch.
Fabrice is
and then she'll say, Henry, carry this, and she'll hand it to Henry.
Henry, you want to take the point?
Fabio, darling, since you're floating up in the air there, why don't you continue? If you start to feeling lightheaded and think you're going to fall, let us know so Norm or someone can catch you.
Well, the bottle says that it's going to last about an hour. I don't know how long it's been since I drank it.
And he floats down and takes, and says, could I take the torch?
Henry will let you have it.
Yeah, he's going to grab that torch and float back up, and he's going to do one hand slide, still floating up in the air.
Okay, well, you're moving kind of slow. That's fine. So yeah, you everybody's watching you kind of move your way. You don't go much further before your torchlight sees that essentially the hallway is going to end. You're traveling eastward at this point. And at the end of the corridor, there's a wall, of course, but on both your left and your right, so the south and the north, there are tapestries.
Okay. He's gonna look around for spider webs or something. If they're giant.
Okay. And yeah, you know what? That's a good point. It is pretty clean in here. But go ahead and roll a d6.
5.
5. Okay, perfect. Yeah. No, there's no spider webs. It's absolutely spotless. Like somebody came in with a vacuum or whatever.
He's gonna look back and says,
It's pretty clean back here. And tapestries. Everything's clear if you guys want to catch up to where I am.
Yeah,
Oh.
Sarah. Oh,
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Sarah will go ahead and head up to the tapestries. She wants to look at the tapestries themselves to see what they depict.
Okay. The tapestry to your right, which is going south, it seems like it's the back of the tapestry. You can just kind of see the threading coming through. The tapestry to the north, on the other hand, shows what you could probably imagine since you came in here from the top and you saw the statue, is the figure at the top that was in the statue. He's standing much the way he is in that statue with the sword kind of like this, and he's just kind of looking off. And behind him, you can see kind of a weird thing. Like you're especially you're a magic user. You can see the different celestial bodies that that you normally can see in the sky, but they're kind of like all there. There's like 7 or 8 of them in this thing, and as far as you know, there would never be a time when they'd all be seen at once. So clearly, it's some kind of a exaggerated fiction. And then at the warrior's feet are just like these boxes and crates of just full of gold and gems, and people seem to be like bowing down and delivering these gifts to the warrior. And it's just like everything else, just like all you've seen all along. This tapestry is blocking the corridor.
Well,
both of them are.
Perhaps it's true that the treasure is here, but it might be exaggerated a bit. You see these alignments in the sky; they don't all appear at once like that. So the amount of treasure might be exaggerated as well.
Fabrice takes out his dagger and pokes at that tapestry, the one with all the stars and everything.
You're gonna stab the tapestry?
Yeah, I mean he's still floating on top, and he's gonna try to poke it to see whether if it's hollow behind it or if there is a wall.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely hollow behind it. Yep. You can actually see, especially because at the top, you can see that there's like this, like the other ones were. There's like these big bolts in the near the ceiling that the tapestry's hanging on, and there's space there. It's just heavy, so it's not moving around, but you can kind of just see that it's not.
Okay.
It's a passageway behind it.
He's gonna poke a hole that's about the size of his eye, and put his eyeball, put his eye up there, and see if he could make out anything.
You're gonna stab the tapestry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do it. So it's made out of that same kind of fleshy material. So you just cut a hole in it. Boy, Slim would be so sad right now. Yeah, you put your eye to it. It's super dark. It's dark right there. I mean, you see little bits of light because you have a torch in your hand, so it's bouncing around the tapestry. But yeah, it's dark on the other side.
Yeah, he's gonna try and listen if he could listen
Sure.
for any movements.
You've got you're kind of you're like shh, so everybody's quiet, and you kind of just hear like. Then you realize that's the sound of the torch burning. It's dead silent.
Yeah, he's gonna get back down to where the group is and says, I don't hear anything. It sounds completely quiet back there.
Oh,
Well, certainly that means there can be no trouble at all.
Well, we saw a statue come alive and try to kill us before, so I wouldn't feel too safe, even though I'm not hearing anything.
Oh yes, my dear fellow, that was sarcasm.
I think if it's completely quiet, that means that you can lead the way for us. Still, Fabrice, right?
Yeah. How about we let the sarcastic fellow go first?
I actually don't mind going first. I can be sneaky when I want to be, until he'll peek down the hallway and start kind of.
Okay. I mean, if you pull the tapestry to the side enough to fit through, your torchlight or whatever, and the lantern will shine down. And it doesn't go very far. It only goes maybe 15 feet. And what you see on the other side are the first you've seen in here, doors. It's a huge set of double doors. The corridor is, maybe 10, 15 feet wide, and they like encompass the entire thing. It looks like they probably push in. You don't see any hinges, nor do you see handles. There's just literally those bars, that you push the door with. But that are confusing because you could also pull them, but it's actually for pushing. And the door itself is oak. It looks like it's oak. It doesn't look rotted at all. I mean, it looks like it's in perfect condition from what you can tell. You're pretty far away from it. It's banded with bronze, and the handles look like they're bronze as well.
Okay. I'll say, little fellow, you bring the light a little closer. I can check to see if there are any nefarious various gadgetry here to ensnare us.
Sure. I'll do that. I'll be right there. And then he turns to Orla and says, I can't believe he fell for it. He decided to take the point.
Well, don't say anything to discourage him. But you could just kind of keep floating up in the sky there and keep that light illuminating you, and it will make you look much larger than you are, and you will scare away any hooligans you may meet.
Well, if somebody has a bow or something, I'll be a floating target. That won't be good. And but he doesn't mind. He's gonna take that lighting source, and he's gonna be close to the ceiling and basically pushing himself forward with one free hand.
Okay. And what are you looking for? Anything? Like a pit trap in the hallway? That's what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for a trap, or on the hallway, or on the door itself.
Okay, sure. Yeah, the corridor seems pretty solid. I mean, this whole place is stone, but it's like that strange kind of dull black stone. But you can definitely see the individual bricks of it. So I mean, it's not perfectly smooth, so it wouldn't be super easy to spot a crack or whatever. But you're careful, and nothing seems like it's out of sorts, and you make your way down to the door.
Okay.
The door itself, like I said, doesn't have any kind of lock mechanism. It just has, and there's no hinges. There's just the door itself, so you kind of look, around the base of it, and wherever you don't see anything that would be,
Okay.
That seems like it's a trap that you'd be able to see.
Then I will carefully put my hand on the bar and sort of push it in a little bit, and put my very handsome head into whatever lies behind it.
You push on the door, and it is very heavy.
Oh.
It does not feel like you'll be able to push it by yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not very strong. I'll say.
Yeah, it's exceptionally heavy. Like, it doesn't move at all.
I'll turn around and say, little help here. Please, if you'd be so kind. If you want to continue down the hallway.
You can send old Norm up there to help you push a little bit.
Okay.
I'll help too. And Fabrice floats down and gives the torch to maybe Sarah.
Sarah gives it to Henry.
Okay.
And we push together.
All right, so how strong is Dorcas?
Dorcas? He is not. He's 8.
8, okay. How strong is Fabrice?
16. He's pretty buff.
Oh, very strong.
Oh my God.
Wow, you're super strong.
Yeah, I mean, like
he takes off his trades like.
like he was saying, he's the strongest halfling in his village.
And how about Norm?
11.
Oh, okay. All right. You're pushing so hard, and you feel it just like moving a little bit, but you just feel like you're just not quite. It's going to take at least one more person to help you push it open.
Henry, be a good chap, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Sarah will take the torch from him, and Henry will help out. His strength is 9.
Fabrice,
Okay,
sheets his sword, and then he does the Simpsons janitor type of thing. Where he strips down. It's like, let me at him, Letty. Yeah.
Yeah. See, with the added strength, you guys push the door open. It slides, and once it gets past, once it opens up, maybe a little more than a foot, Then all of a sudden it's almost like it was rusted at a certain spot. So as soon as you get past that point, it just like flies open, and you are looking into another octagon-shaped room. This one is in the center of it. You see a stone slab rising from the center of the room with a body laying on it. You also see lying about the room and several chests, some of which have rotted. And you can actually see like some gold and silver pieces that have kind of fell out, and they're kind of all over the ground. There's also 6 skeletons that are laying kind of flat on the ground, like they almost look like they're collapsed, if you will, like they're just in piles, basically. And there's no light in here, and there is a terrible, terrible smell of death. The figure on the slab is wearing, like the guy up above, he's wearing armor, like a plate armor. And as your torchlight hits it and light hits it, you can actually see that it is plate armor, but it's all rusted. And he starts to sit up, which you're expecting, and he lifts this like 2-handed sword, but it's kind of like bent and rusted and broken as he lifts up, and his eyes glow with like an orangey greenish glare, and you just feel like coldness rip through your body as you see this thing. And yeah, what do you guys want to do?
You said there's a lot of coins that are laying on the floor from his broken chest.
Yep.
Yeah, Orla sees. That's all he sees. So he looks towards the rest of them. He goes, "Well, we've got to hurry. Take that thing out before it gets off the altar there. Hurry!"
Yeah, Fabrice floats and prepares to get that slingshot ready.
He's gonna float straight up.
Yeah, he's gonna float straight up.
Okay. All right,
Yeah, and
so let's go through.
Orla's going to try to get the bow ready and gets a bow shot off, at least one, before it gets up and going.
Okay. All right. What about Dorcas?
Yeah, he has a bow. He'll probably try to shoot at it before he runs.
And how about Sarah?
Sarah's
Anything
gonna
company?
try and throw a flask of oil at it,
Okay.
and Henry's gonna guard the door.
Nice. Okay. Fair enough. We'll call that missile. And Crystal, roll initiative for the party. D6 for the side. You got a 4.
We got a 1.
Oh, okay. All right. So this thing moves. Maybe either you move a little slower than you feel like you should, or this thing moves a little faster than you think it should, because it's on its feet pretty quickly. And even though it's holding this 2-handed sword in like one hand, like it's nothing, it lifts it and then it kind of like drops it to the side and it reaches forward and it's just going to try to grab one of you. At this point, basically everybody's in the door. Well, the 4 people that pushed it in the doorway. So that's Dorcas, Fabrice, Henry, right, and Norm. So all those are in the doorway. So we'll go D4. Dorcas. It's reaching out for Dorcas.
All right.
Does it just get one attack? It does. Oh my god. It rolled a 4 though. So it moved pretty quickly, and then it was like, oh, I like to sleep. And it kind of stumbles past, rolling a 4, doesn't hit anything. Yeah, but as it reaches towards you, you can just feel like this like icy coldness. Everybody can feel it as you kind of go ahead and make your moves. So movement happens first, so you're levitating, so you'll go up. And then we go into missile fire, which I guess is also you. Well, actually, everybody has missiles. So actually, people are going to have to step back if you want to use the bow because it moved towards you. So I guess everybody's doing a slight step back. So you're going straight up, though, Fabrice, right?
Yes.
All right, so you're going up, but Dorcas, if you're going to want to shoot a missile, you're going to have to step back, like do a half retreat or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Same with. Well, actually, Orla didn't step forward, so you're good, actually. Okay, so that's fine. But you'll have to, but that's fine. You can totally do that. So we'll just go through the missiles then. So Dorcas, you move back and go ahead and missile.
All right. Let's see if he's any better with the bow than he was with his dagger. Let's see. Ooh, he rolled an 18.
Nice.
So he's level 1.
Its armor class is 5.
Oh yeah, that'll hit it.
Okay. Yeah, the bow shot cleanly like goes right into the chest of this thing, and as it does, the actual arrowhead splinters and falls to the ground, and the shaft of the bow like looks like it almost like if you left a piece of wood out like all winter, and then you went and looked at it later, like it bends and twists and
Ooh.
like gets distorted.
Okay.
And clearly the arrow did not affect him. Sarah with the oil.
Okay, she's gonna try and throw it at him.
Okay.
I rolled a nat 1.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna say you probably drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just drop the oil on the ground. Roll again. If you roll a d6, we'll say 1 or 2, it's gonna shatter. Otherwise, it just falls on the ground because I mean it's not like they're that fragile.
2.
Okay. Yeah. So it's all over you. It splashed all over your new shoes.
Mm.
Okay. Fabrice with the slingshot.
There we go. 9. So that's probably gonna miss.
Armor class is 5.
Give me one moment.
I think you all have the same 1 through 3rd level. Everybody has the same chance of hitting. So you basically all need.
The shirt is what, Dad?
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
you all
Armor-
need a
I hit armor class 8.
13. Yeah. Seems right, because you're what? Oh, I hate how they do this here. You're a you need 10 to hit 9, right? That's how it works. So this is the one thing I don't like about old school essentials. They don't do this right. So let me actually see what everybody needs, so we're not checking every single time. Combat. Okay, so you're going to need, to hit him, you're going to need a 14 total. Modified 14. Everybody needs the same thing. That's a good thing. I'll be in the same level. Yeah.
For Fabrice, I think it's 12 to hit armor class 5. According to
Well,
the
that's
chart.
probably because you have bonuses, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right? Because I'm looking at the chart, and to hit armor class 5 for a 1st or 3rd level person is a 14. Yeah. So you got +1 for the being a halfling, and probably +1 maybe for your dex.
Yep.
That's probably why, yeah. But so you need a modified 14. Everybody needs the same thing. Okay, so that's him. And Orla.
Yep, AC 3 for 5 with the bow.
Okay, same thing happens with your arrow. It kind of hits him, and you just see like the arrowhead, the iron of it, like rot down into rust and fall to the ground, and the actual bow arrow itself like distorts and warps like it's aged and rotted, doing no damage basically.
Yeah, he'll just, after he sees that happen from Dorcas and his shots, he'll look towards Sarah and go, do you have any more of that oil? Maybe that's a good idea to try to burn it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of that round. So what's the plan? Nikki, what do you want to do with the characters?
After seeing that, I can use the battle axe, right?
You can use any weapon as a thief, dude.
That's
As a
right,
rogue.
NVX. Okay. As a rogue, yes. He's going to be like, well, it's not very finesse, but maybe it will work. And he's going to try to get it with the battle axe.
You're gonna melee it? Okay. How about the magic users?
Sarah's going to be like, knock yourself out, and she'll toss them the oil, and she'll say, Henry, run! And then they're going to run off.
Oh, you're gonna toss the oil to oil? Okay.
Yeah, I'll yeah.
All right. Cool. You can hand that off. That's not a problem. They do have their own movement phase. Fabrice?
Fabrice is gonna throw his vial of oil straight down on that guy.
Nice. And Orla.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm not paying much attention for Breeze. I'm going to throw that oil too that Sarah gave me.
Okay, perfect. Because they're also running away with the light source, but that's we'll deal with that in a second. All right, so It's just going to try to attack somebody who's in the hallway. The only person that really can attack at this point, unless you guys put initiative, is Fabrice, because it can move fast enough to get to you where you are. So this is pretty important, I guess. Then roll initiative, Crystal.
He's up in the air.
Yeah,
He
right. As I'm saying, you're the only one that can't hit.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it rolled a 6. So unless you roll a 6, ooh, okay. All right, it's going to move forward the 15 or so feet that you guys move back, and it's going to kind of just try to reach for somebody. So now everybody is possibly a target except for Fabrice, who's up in the air. So that means there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. Ooh. 3. Henry. Oh boy. This guy, he's still getting used to waking up after all this time as he rolls a 3 when he reaches for the magic user. He's like, oh, and he just runs right
the magic
past.
user's just already gone. Like, didn't need any encouragement from Sarah.
Yeah, he goes to reach you. You look, you're like, Henry, go. Oh. It's like one of those Scooby-Doo cartoons where the torch is still sitting in the air because he ran and he just left it.
Oh.
So yeah, so that movement happened on your side. So everybody's moving. You hand off the flask. All that happens, and then we can go into a missile because Malay's actually last in BX. So oil from Fabrice.
Yep. That hits armor class 4.
Okay. Yeah. It shatters as the vial hits it, the glass actually like looks ancient and shatters, but of course the oil falls all over him. He's covered in oil. Orla.
Oh no, that's not going to be good. I rolled a 5 on a die, so
All right, so you whip it past him, man. Yeah, it smashes on the wall or in the room behind. And then finally, we got a melee attack with the Orcus. Bring down that axe, rogue.
Yeah, he's kind of holding it funny because he's not used to. Yeah. But he rolled a 19.
Nice. This is the moment where rogues became fighters.
That's right.
All right, yeah, that hits, and it's and it clearly cuts into him.
Okay, so D8 plus 1.
D8 plus 1 from the battle axe.
8. 7 plus 1 is 8.
As is my fashion, always, Gygaxian fashion as is, to roll the creature's hit points once it gets hit the first time. I rolled a 5, a 1, and a 1. Which means the creature had 7 hit points.
Nice.
So it moves past to go after Henry. It gets splashed with oil, and then this battle axe just kind of tell us how the battle axe takes out this white.
Oh yeah, it just slices it right in half. Like Dorcas kind of tries to go for the head, but he's not really great with axes, so he goes for the hits to the midsection, and to his great surprise, just slices the thing in half, and it kind of splits apart into 2 pieces, like in the movies.
Yeah,
like
and its rusted armor just falls to the ground. The sword falls. Mm-hmm. All this is happening kind of in a frenzy. So like the oil splat, you hear that flash of oil that missed him by a mile hit the wall in the background. You hear the footsteps running off, and it's getting darker because the magic users ran away. But of course you're oh no, you're not an elf. So nobody, you guys are all probably like, what the? As it's getting darker, and the thing is gone.
Fabrice, witnessing Dorcas, the super handsome guy with perfect hair, cleave that, a creature in twain, he says, "I can't believe it's not butter."
He says,
no.
Dorcas kind of looks at his handiwork while he can still see it. He's like, "Well, would you look at that?"
Yeah, Orla's going to try to get a torch out and start lighting it up while this is going on. And he looks up to where he last saw Fabrice, and he goes, "Well, just let them run away. They're not going to get any of the treasure now. Let them run away. Come on, Norm, bring them 2 large sacks and let's start filling it up."
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, how are you running out? Are you running out through that entrance way that you guys found, or are you going to go back up the rope? Magic users.
Yeah, say back up the rope.
Okay. So yeah, you go in there. There's quite a bit of copper, silver, and gold. Unfortunately, more silver and copper than there is gold, but there is a decent amount as you kind of scoop it all up. Let me just see. Let's do one final potential for a wandering monster. Who wants to roll it? Tony, roll a d6.
All right, here we go. A 2.
All right. Yeah. As you're doing it, nothing seems to bother you. You collect about 1,000 copper, 2,200 silver, 700 gold, and you also find a pretty decent sized gem buried in the in the things. Most of the other stuff was costume jewelry that kind of rotted out. All the weapons and armor that were in here, because he was a warlord, he was buried with all this like beautiful ornate weapons and armor. It all seems to have rusted and been kind of contaminated. Definitely something evil affected this man, because the rest of the place was clean and perfect, but this room is just completely tainted in some way with the evil. But the gold will still spend the same as you fill up your sacks. All right, so you've got all that. There is more to explore, but you also are pretty hurt, so I don't know if you guys want to get the heck out while you're ahead, or if you want to.
Well, we didn't get injured at all. Dorcas and Orla.
It's true, the new people aren't hurt. Orla's hurt. Yeah.
Okay.
Orla looks at you and goes, "Do you not remember patching me up, little man? I'm not feeling well."
Well, it's my greed speaking. Maybe you can come back here later.
Well, we can always go back to town. I would like to have 2 chickens and a mug of ale, and I would like to listen to someone sing the bear, and the maiden fair.
Well, I say, just like what Slim said, we could perhaps take the tapestry as well, and maybe it's going to fetch us some nice gold. Who knows? Some noble may pay a handsome fund for it.
Of course they will. We will spiff it up a little bit.
All right.
Nice.
And Fabrice makes good use of last few moments of his levitation to carefully snip the top of these tapestries, and then he does his best to roll it up so that people could carry it.
Yeah, they're pretty big. So there's 2 that you can see currently where you are. There's the one that was blocking this room that has a small hole in it now. And then there's the one that you see the back of. Or do you want to leave those and go back to the first room and get those tapestries?
The one that looks the most epic and expensive. So
well, probably him. Yeah, the one that you put a hole in, but it's only a small hole. So yeah, you can get that. I mean, it's big. I would say that it's going to take because of the size of them, it's going to take 2 people to carry that thing, plus all the gold. So I'll say with all you're carrying, with the amount of people that you have, you're not going to be able to carry more than one of those tapestries. But you because you're carrying oh god. Actually, you're probably carrying way more than you should be able to. But how many of you are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of you, right? Yeah, you're going to be moving very slow with the stuff you have, because you've got. You might want to leave the copper actually, because you got 3, 4, 5. You're carrying almost 6,000 coins, which is a lot for 5 people. You can only carry 1,200, I think, a piece, or 1,600. So, actually, I think you can just carry it all, unless you can find the magic users and get them to help you.
Fabrice takes out that potion of demunitization, or was it diminution?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? I mean, do you have to drink it, or could you does it have expiration time where it goes back to normal size after a little while?
Yeah, I mean, typically with the potion you must drink it, and also it lasts for 1 hour plus a d6 turns, so it could last up to 2 hours.
I got you,
but not too long. It took you almost a day to get out here, so
all right.
Yeah, I think that you reasonably, we could say you probably get 1 of the tapestries if you kind of coordinate it really well, and you'll just be moving really slow. And that includes not carrying anybody's bodies or whatever. You're leaving them here in the tomb. Of course, when the magic users got to the surface and realized it was nighttime, who knows where they went if they decided to stay. But I guess we could figure that out now. Let's do a how would it end, because I think that's pretty much where we are at this adventure. So I guess we'll start with you, Crystal, so we can see where did they go when they ran out. What happened with the 2 magic users?
So you see the magic users at the top of the pyramid. Since it's nighttime, they went down and collected a little bit of wood and came back up to start a little fire. And Sarah says, "All right, Henry, it's your first lesson. Sometimes you don't get the gold, but you always live to fight another day."
Nice. Excellent. All right. How does it end for Dorcas?
Well, Dorcas, having lost his patron, but did pretty well on his own, he thinks. He's going to try to find another adventuring party to join, and if he ever sees Henry and the magic user again, he's always like, "Yes, Henry, that's a good lesson, but also sometimes you live and get the gold. So maybe next time try that. I guarantee you it's a better outcome."
Nice. All right. Fabrice. Sorry. Yeah, Fabrice.
Yeah, Fabrice is doing his best to carry that tapestry, and he adds to Dorcas and says, "And mind you, not all treasures are gold and silver. Sometimes a fine art such as these will fetch you even more gold and silver." And he says, "Well, after this, perhaps if you guys are still mindful of adventuring, I would like to join you," he says.
Nice. You know what, Young? Roll 3d6 for me.
3d6. Gotcha. I got 8.
All right. The tapestry is worth 800 gold pieces.
Ooh, nice.
The guy goes, when you go to sell it, he's like, "I'll give you 1,700. Oh, hold on. There's a hole in it. 800 gold pieces.
Darn it.
Tony, how does it end for Orla and Norm?
Yeah, Orla and Norm go back, and Orla orders 2 chickens for everybody. 2 chickens for him, 2 chickens for Norm, Fabrice, Dorcas, whoever's there. And then he has whoever is singing his song, The Bear and the Maiden Fair. And then he gets a little bit into his cups, and he starts telling a story about, well, you know, the little halfling, he took his shirt off, and the boy's got muscles. I mean, muscles. That's the end of the story for Orla.
Nice. Excellent. Awesome. Yeah, you guys, you pretty much cleared the whole place out. So actually, I just remembered too that you guys had put the necklace on Sarah's neck, right? So Sarah actually walked away with 850 gold pieces. But yeah, you guys got most of the other stuff. Yeah, there was only 2 other rooms that you didn't explore. Essentially, in the room with the statues, there was a random number of them that would possibly come alive, and you happened to just walk up to the 2 that would. There were 2 other ones in the room, but they weren't anywhere near where you were. But the other room,
I can't believe I made it. I had Orla had 1 HP left.
Oh my god! I know. I can't believe I rolled super low on the hit points for the owlbear. So but well, you guys did good though to kind of circle it and get the backstabs. If you had gone to the south through the tapestry, there was like a trap room that you would have had to try to get out of, and if you didn't, then you would have been basically suffocated and died. And if you had gone from that other big room, you didn't see it, but there was another tapestry in there, and that basically there was a room with a table like piled with gold and silver, but there was an ochre jelly kind of slothing around on the ground. So that was like a, do you want to deal with this or just leave room? But otherwise, you basically got through everything that was out there. And that tunnel where the owlbear was, if you had explored around, I rolled actually when you were standing on top, when you guys were like, "Oh, I'm going to look around." I did roll to see if you'd see it. But there was actually, you could get in that way as well, and you could have avoided the top part, but you got through that pretty easily. Luckily, you knelt in front of the statue, because if you didn't, it would have been pretty bad. So, but all in all, pretty good. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Is the creation of this going to be tomorrow's video?
No. I think it's 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, because we got it done quick enough. But yeah, it'll be. I'll let you guys know when it comes up. You can see how I did it.
Always love watching those videos.
Well, thanks. All right. Well, thanks, guys.